3, 2, 1.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is The Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Thank you so much for listening, and gotta apologize if you've kept up on my Twitter or on our Facebook page. You've seen a couple messages here and there over the last couple weeks. I've been out of commission. Real quick reasoning, just I had a wisdom tooth extracted, which was messing with another tooth. So I am kind of feeling just at a point where I'm like, oh my god, I can talk again. So for long lengths of time. So very happy to be back with all of you. But I've got a review here for Venom There Be Carnage, which I just saw with my amazing partner and our friend Jesse. Jesse, you beautiful man. I love you. It was so good to see you today. So, of course, this is directed by Andy Serkis, who he's only directed a couple things, but of course you know him, as Gollum in Lord of the Rings films. Of course, you know him as Ulysses Klaue in Black Panther and Age of Ultron. You know him as Caesar, of course, in the Planet of the Apes trilogy, which I stand by the fact, still one of the best trilogies in the history of cinema. I'm a huge fan of Andy Serkis, and so he, of course, is your director. Woody Harrelson joins the franchise as a Cletus Kasady, aka Carnage. I could go through a million things that Woody Harrelson's been in. Natural Born Killers, the Hunger Games films, Zombieland, People vs. Larry Flint, which if you have not seen, highly recommend you do. True Detective, along with other stuff. You, of course, know Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock. You know him from Dark Knight Rises, The Lawless Warrior. Michelle Williams, from stuff as well, but not limited to Maryland, which was actually really great. Manchester by the Sea, Blue Valentine, just name a few off the top of my head. And then I will, of course, give props to Naomi Harris, who, of course, you know from Moonlight, which she's amazing in, and the latest Bond films, including, I think her debut was Skyfall. But, alright, got everyone out of the way, or the main cast. I'm just gonna get out of the way. This sucks. I really don't like this. I have to shout out Nathan from Mission Potable, because he went and saw this, I believe, Tuesday, and he even said, Hunter, I think there's a world where you hate this. And I'm going to shout out my roommate, OJ. He was like, I hate this movie. He's like, I think you may not like it. And so I just rewatched the first Venom with my partner a week or two ago, and I forgot how much I enjoyed the first Venom. I believe I gave it a C+. I probably should have given it B-, honestly. Venom, the first one is a lot of fun. It's stupid. Do not misunderstand. The first Venom is incredibly dumb. But I think the comedy was such a welcome surprise with the film. A lot of some of Venom is really good, actually, in the comics at being comedic when they want to go that route. So I was actually happy to see them kind of go more good cop, bad cop, almost Odd Couple with it. This movie, at points, really feels like it's just missing jokes. And with Kelly Marcel being the head writer this time around, she was involved in the script on the first one, but this time it's all her. And here's the thing: she's written two things I really enjoy. She wrote Saving Mr. Banks, which I really enjoyed, with Tom Hanks and Emma Thompson. Really enjoyed that movie. And she also helped with the story on Cruella, which I also really enjoyed. I was a big fan of Cruella. But notice I said she wrote Saving Mr. Banks and just helped with the story on Cruella. The other thing she has done the screenplay for is fucking 50 Shades of Grey, which is a terrible fucking movie. And it makes sense because the way that Anne is written in this movie is to be quite honest, it's fucking disgusting. She is. This really makes the first film. It makes me laugh at the first film in this sense, because Anne has this very high opinions, very moral high ground that she feels like she has in the first film, and rightfully so, because Eddie screws her, with the whole story with Riz Ahmed's character. The way he screws her in getting that information is really fucked up. So she has a right to be as really pissed off as she is. But in this movie, she is such a bad partner to Reed Scott's Dan. There are multiple points where Eddie will kind of say something like, they make this point where she gets Venom again. So she's like, she Venom again. And she kind of makes this offhand comment to Eddie that, like, oh, I need you to get the symbiote back. Like, she has it, so, you can kiss me and I'll transfer it back to you. And she goes, oh, yeah, we're probably not going to make out again. And I went, wait, you're engaged. You shouldn't be making out with your ex. That shouldn't be well, maybe we will, maybe we won't. No, you won't, or at least you shouldn't fucking want to. And the movie just kind of brushes that all aside, and I went, wait a minute, no, that's not how this is supposed to work. And my partner pointed this out, and I had the exact same thought before we were even talking about it. There, you see in the, I think in the second trailer, that she's getting engaged, that Dan's proposed to her. And so when Eddie, by the way, that's a text or a phone call. At worst, a Zoom call. But the fact of the matter is, she drags his ass out of his apartment, out of his home, to meet her at this nice restaurant, where she does dress up, like, pretty sexy, and drops the bomb of, oh yeah, I'm getting engaged. Like, there was no reason to go through all that shit to just tell him that she's fucking engaged. That really should have been a fucking Zoom call. And the way it comes across so selfish on her point. And so when Eddie kind of presses her a little bit, like, why are you marrying him? The only thing she can say is, he makes me feel safe. I don't think she never even said she loves him in this movie. And that's her fucking partner. The person that she's supposed to want to spend the rest of her life with. And she's like, whatever. It makes no sense. And that's just one of the many issues that this film inhabits. So the film opens up going back to this hospital, or this, I don't want to say, probably more of a mental institution, where a young Cletus Kasady goes ahead and interacts and meets young Francis Barrison. And it was really weird because they get a teenage actor to play a young Cletus, but it's Woody Harrelson's voice coming out of him. And that was one of those things I went, what? Why? You don't need to do this. Let that actor use his own voice. You don't need this dub Woody Harrelson's voice. And it's one of those things that I just kind of went, wait, what? And again, that's how the movie starts. And it doesn't make any sense. That was really weird. But one thing I will give this movie, and it's kind of a backhanded compliment, but it does lean into the whole Eddie Brock and Venom odd couple aspect. It really is like a horror love story, because the symbiote loves Eddie, and Eddie's just that partner in the relationship who's over it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. We need to go our separate ways. But what I found really funny about that, and actually really sad at the same time, is that the symbiote genuinely loves Eddie. And I'm not even being facetious when I say that. There's this point, which also the movie just brushes aside, that I went, that's fucking dark. There's this point where Eddie is just riding his motorcycle, like, really fast. It's really Bella Swan and Twilight-esque, or in a New Moon-esque, where he's just like, oh, I could kill myself right now. It won't matter. You always heal me anyway. And he, like, speeds up, and the symbiote is, like, pulling the steering wheel, or not the steering wheel, but, like, the handlebars, so that he doesn't crash into a couple cars. And so I'm like, wow, Eddie Brock is trying to kill himself, and we're 40 minutes in this fucking movie. We're not even halfway through. And the symbiote even makes this comment about, I can heal your, I'm paraphrasing, like, I can heal your bones, but I can't, we can't fix a broken heart, or something like that. It's one of the few lines of dialogue that I actually kind of perked up for and went, oh, that's actually kind of sweet. But the problem is that this is almost like a Marge-Homer relationship, because the symbiote is right like 99% of the time. There's this point where Eddie's like, you need to stop eating people. You need to stop killing. And the symbiote goes, you said we could eat bad guys. The first movie fucking ends with the symbiote saying that. And Eddie going, oh yeah, we can kill bad guys. Because, there's that whole scene with Miss Shen where there's that guy who's robbing her every, week or whatever. And Venom eats him. And I went, all right, technically you said, yes, this would be a thing. And Eddie's like, no, we can't kill people. And then Eddie has the fucking gall to go, my life was great before you showed up. And the symbiote, rightfully so, goes, you fucked up everything you had before we even met. And Eddie goes, yeah, well, shut up. Like no, motherfucker. Like he's 100% right. So when the symbiote leaves Eddie, and we're kind of supposed to go like, aw, I went, no, good for the symbiote. The symbiote can find a better host. Eddie fucking sucks. And there's really never that point when they get back together that I went, yeah, I'm so happy you guys are together. I was actually happy for the symbiote being out on its own instead of having to be stuck with dumb Eddie. But as I mentioned, I mean, that's one of several issues I have. But I'll be real, I could probably talk about the things I don't like about this for a while, honestly, which fucking sucks. I could just bring up the fact that, there's no reason for Carnage to be red whatsoever. There's this moment where the symbiote really does snap, where Eddie is interviewing him, and Cletus goes, oh yeah, we both come from broken homes, like, you killed your dad because you're such a bad kid or something to that effect. And the symbiote's like, you son of a bitch, and, jumps out of Eddie and pushes Cletus against his cell. But because the symbiote got Eddie right up against the bars, Cletus goes ahead and bites Eddie's hand, draws blood, and that's how it becomes Carnage. There are multiple times where Eddie gets cut or hurt or like bones are broken in the first film, and he never turns into a red symbiote, so why the fuck, like, it's just blood? Like, that doesn't make sense. That's why the symbiote is red. I just went, that's alright, sure, whatever. But the other giant component in that is, how would Cletus know so much about Eddie? He shouldn't have access to internet or anything like that. Maybe you would think that the fucking Ravencroft Institute would be like, oh hey, maybe we don't want fucking serial killers to have access to maybe manipulating a civilian, perhaps? I don't know. And then to follow that up, Eddie is working. I don't think they ever say I don't think they even say that he's working for the Daily. No, they didn't even say he's working for Daily Beetle. He's just kind of doing the story. And Cletus even remarks that, oh, this could get you back, back in the public eye, get you back in the game or whatever. And if you're Eddie Brock and you break this story, you are not living in that apartment still. That's something that could get you like a national news job. So with, a story that big to break, that big of an exclusive. So when he's still struggling as a reporter, I just went, oh, fuck off, movie. Like, that's not how this works. People get famous on fucking TikTok. You're telling me someone couldn't break that story and immediately have a great fucking news job? Just, like TMZ at least. But, so that happens. There's this whole scene where Venom ends up in a nightclub because, again, him and Eddie, quote, break up, unquote. And you probably saw it in one of the TV spots because they're starting to kind of run the spot a little more. But there's that whole scene where Venom's in an underground like concert. It's not like a club, but there's this concert going on, and Venom is speaking to a microphone. What do symbiotes not like? Loud sounds. And so there's a point where Venom even drops the mic, because of course he does. And the fucking reverb, the fucking sound waves don't shake the symbiote off the person that Venom is inhabiting at that time. And that also undercuts, in my opinion, the first film, because one of the things about the first film that was so cool is that Eddie's body was really, quote, meant to be made, was meant to be for the symbiote, which is why him and Venom's connection is so, tight and important. And so when Venom leaves Eddie and just starts jumping from host to host like it's no big deal, it really just, it makes their relationship, I think, feel less special. And then you're going against the own rules that you established in the first fucking movie. When I think about stuff I liked, I did really enjoy the Carnage Breakout scene. There is that scene where Cletus is supposed to die from lethal injection. Of course he doesn't. That's when Carnage goes ahead and, protects him and saves him. And that whole Breakout sequence I actually thought was really well handled. And, pardon me. And I will say, for a PG-13 movie, you get to see, there's that shot, again, it's one of the trailers, where Carnage's tongue just goes through that security guard's face. I went, oh shit. So there are a few action bits that I enjoyed. The last fight as well is better handled than it is in the first film, but it still found a lot of those same problems. I thought that it was too dark at points to tell what was happening. I also thought that Andy Serkis, again, God bless the dude, but he was quick cutting so much in that last battle, I couldn't tell at points what was happening. I didn't get enough time to really digest, oh shit, Carnage stabbed Venom through the head or whatever. Like, I wasn't able to process what was happening because it was moving so fucking fast. It's really frustrating because, again, I enjoyed the first film so fucking much. And when I think about this, I just go, there's a point in that last battle where Venom gets pinned under some rubble, and it's barely any rubble. Keep in mind, in Spider-Man Homecoming, a fucking building falls on Peter Parker and he lifts it up. But there's like 8 pieces, maybe 10 pieces of rubble that fall on Venom, and he can't lift it. I'm just sitting there going, really? Like, that's all it takes is rubble to keep your ass down? And it wouldn't be so bad if earlier on in the film, Venom goes ahead and sees some stuff on Kasady's wall when they initially go to interview him, and he takes control of Eddie's body and starts drawing everything really fast. But then the second time he goes to interview Cletus, he tells the symbiote, oh, this is a me and him thing. And I went, oh, I'm sorry, you're not going to use this fucking symbiote that can see in his cell to give you clues as to where to find these fucking bodies? Reporter? It doesn't make any sense. And the movie keeps doing shit like that. And I'm sitting there watching it. There was a point where my partner was giving me shit, rightfully so, because I could feel the face, while I was just looking at the screen like, what the fuck? Like that confused bunny gif, huh? And she kept laughing at me, but I couldn't help myself, because the more I looked at this, the more I was just going, come on, try. I know you probably did the script in one run, but try to be better, strive for better. It sucks. It sucks so bad. It really bums me out, because I wanted this to be good. I wanted this to be great. I really did. And just, it's not. It's a bummer. It makes me sad. Whatever. So, when I think about a grade, I was sitting there thinking, could I give this an F? And to be honest, no. An F is too generous for this. When I think about a go fuck yourself movie, I think about something that makes me really angry. And I'll be honest, I've been ranting about this movie for, it feels like 2 hours since I got home. Because I talked to my roommate about it before I even started recording. And I'm sorry. I'm okay. I take no joy. This is not like a Tyler Perry movie where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get this Go Fuck Yourself because he sucks. This bums me out because I was actually excited for this movie. And there's this, it sucks. It really sucks that I have to give it a Go Fuck Yourself. I'm actually mad. I'm mad at the movie for that because I wanted to like it. And look, y'all, I'm not made of stone. I can overlook shit and just have dumb fun with stuff. But for a 90-minute film, and this is I think it's 97 minutes technically, but it is one of those things where I go, oh, so it's an hour 30, it's exactly 90 minutes. This needed to be 2 hours, maybe 2:05, because you need to flesh out more of the Shriek character. You actually need to have Eddie and Venom get some distance to each other. You could develop fucking Ann more. You could have done a lot more with another half hour, and it's just, it sucks. It sucks this is what we got. But I have to be real about this. I always say I'll keep it real with y'all, and this will go fuck yourself. I can't not give it a go fuck yourself, because if I give it anything but, I'm lying to all of you out there. So yeah, this will go fuck yourself. Damn it. damn it. Okay, so there's my grade, but I do have to talk about the mid-credit scene. So if you really care, thanks for listening. Come back later on. But okay, so the mid-credit scene. So Spider-Man's officially on the board, and what I find interesting about this, I wonder if Venom's in the MCU. That's the question I think we're going to get answered sooner than later, because Eddie and Venom are off on this this tropical island. That actually doesn't say where they're at, but they're on this island, and there's this boom that kind of they're like, what was that? And it makes me wonder if that's a Nexus event, or if that's something tied to Doctor Strange. It's just I think that boom is very intentional. I think it's very intentional that they don't say what it is. So I'm very curious to see how they follow that up. But we see Tom Holland, Peter Parker in the suit. So is Venom going to be in the MCU? I think we're going to get a Venom introduction in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. If we don't get a Venom introduction, I believe we're going to get a symbiote introduction, because, and I've been saying this, and as we get closer and get a first trailer, I will bring this up again. I think in Thor: Love and Thunder, because of Christian Bale's villain, and because of that villain, I think we're gonna get his sword that he uses. That is technically from the planet of symbiotes, if memory serves correctly. Gore the God Conqueror, I want to say. But I think there's a reason why that boom exists. So I'm curious if Marvel follows up on that, if that's just a thing that occurs. But we'll see. I think we're going to find out sooner than later. But yeah, they need to get the original writing team back for Venom. They cannot fuck this up again. I mean, I will be the first to admit, do I want to see Spider-Man and Venom share the screen together? Absolutely. That I definitely want that. I want them to do it right this time. But Jesus Christ, if this is what they're going to be doing with Spider-Man and Venom, I don't want this. I don't want that. Please don't fuck this up again. So we'll see where they go with the story, but what a bummer. What a fucking bummer. And yeah, is there anything else I want to bitch about? Oh yeah, we are gonna get Toxin, which, to be honest, doesn't really make any sense to me considering what happens with Stephen Graham's Dr. Mulligan. But if you wanna just know, Toxin is another symbiote. That's really all you need to know. So it seems like we're getting that. It seems like they're teasing that, which, whatever, honestly. But yeah, disappointing. Really disappointing. But everyone, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? I wasn't a fan, but but you can go ahead and follow us on, like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. Like both our pages. You can like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple and Real Pineapple Games. Don't forget to follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. That's REEL Pineapple. Don't forget to follow Scott on Twitter at Nearman1st. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple and Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher and iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Amazon Music, to name a few spots at The Real Pineapple. Thank you so much for listening. This next week, our Real Spooky series begins. So I'm going to have some Halloween movie reviews for y'all, which I'm really excited to get into some stuff that I actually haven't seen before. So I'm gonna have a review up here soon for Shaun of the Dead, which I haven't watched Shaun of the Dead in probably since I was 20. I don't know why it's been that long, but I'm gonna go ahead and watch that. I'm gonna watch Scream, which I haven't seen I think I've seen Scream once actually. So gonna review that. I'm gonna review Beetlejuice, Freaky with Vince Vaughn, and I am blanking on the girl's name. That makes me feel terrible. Oh my gosh, what is her name? I'm gonna have to look this up now. Catherine Newton, there we go. And gonna review The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, because I freaking love The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and some other stuff as well. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Wear a mask, get your COVID shot, and your flu shot if you haven't yet. I need to do that. Take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon.